Hi there and welcome to this video lesson. Today I'd like to show you how you can master the final and probably hardest part of the legendary solo from Ozzy Osbourne's song No More Tears. No More Tears has a pretty interesting song structure with a great buildup of tension, and that also applies to the guitar solo. Towards the end of the solo, Zakk Wylde pulls out all the stops and plays a combination of super fast 16th sextuplet licks, ending in a brilliant fireworks display of 32nd note quintuplet licks. And all of this at 103 BPM, which even when slowing down the song is insanely fast. There are also many misunderstandings and inaccuracies regarding the final licks, which I've seen again and again in cover versions, but also in tablatures of this song. That's why I want to clear up all these misunderstandings here and show you how you can master the final part of this solo step by step. As always, I've also prepared a step-by-step guide for you this time, which you can download for free as a PDF if you click on the link in the video description or in the first pinned comment. So let's jump directly into the licks in question. First of all, it's important to keep in mind that Zakk Wylde tuned his guitar down a half step. So we are not in standard E tuning, but in E flat. If we now take a look at the first licks, you can see here in the tablature that I've also written out the counting above each tab to give you a better understanding of the rhythm. For the first three licks, the accents are 16th sextuplets, which means a combination of 6 notes each that we play per beat. However, the way Zakk Wylde plays them, it makes more sense to count them as follows. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The good thing about these licks is that they are pentatonic licks, which makes them relatively quick to follow and understand, and we only play them on 2 strings, namely the high E string and the B string. But since we are dealing with a relatively fast tempo of 103 BPM for 16th sextuplets, there are some things we need to keep in mind if we want to pick all the notes just as precisely as Zakk Wylde does. This brings us to a technique called pick slanting. Pick slanting means holding the pick at a certain angled position to the strings, which allows you to play very fast runs and licks with alternate picking without getting stuck on the strings. Since there are several ways to hold a guitar pick, but the pick slanting technique always requires essentially the same principle, I'll first show you this during step 1, slow practice, with my preferred grip and then also with the preferred grip of many other guitarists. Let me also tell you that in my opinion there is no better or worse way to hold a guitar pick, since there are many examples of extremely virtuosic guitarists who all hold the pick in a different way but are still able to play these licks. Zakk Wylde also belongs in this group of guitarists. He actually holds the pick a little differently than the 2 variations I'll show you today. The only important thing is that you angle the pick slightly, otherwise you will get stuck when alternate picking fast licks like these. So instead of this, you play the lick like this. Or with the other variation, what you should notice here is that in both variations the pick always strikes the strings at the same angle, so that in my fast movements I can play around the B string without getting stuck. If you have tried out the first lick a bit and feel like you can apply the technique reasonably well, then move on to step 2. Before we learn all the other licks, we first want to be able to play 16th sextuplets in 4/4 time, even at slow tempos. For this, our hydrogen drum machine comes in handy once again. If you've seen a few of my videos, you know that I like to use the hydrogen drum machine, a free drum computer, to explain complex rhythmic concepts. You can download it too by clicking the link in the video description or the first pinned comment. In Hydrogen, you have the possibility to program quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes, as well as triplets, and then practice slowly and even together with the metronome. All you have to do is select 16T under resolution. The T stands for triplets, but these are identical to the sextuplet that Zakk Wylde plays here. I prefer to use the stick element to program the accents. With a simple right click you can quickly program all 16th sextuplets at once. Now you can also count, play along and learn to understand these accents at very slow tempos, for example just 30 beats per minute. 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4. So let's just play and understand the first 3 licks at 30 BPM. I'll demonstrate them for you once using the stick element as a guide. 1 2 1 2 3 4. Now try on your own to increase the tempo in steps of 10 BPM until you reach 60 BPM. Before raising the tempo further, I recommend that at 60 BPM you practice playing your accents without the help of the stick element. Because if you increase the tempo further, the ever faster accents of the stick element will eventually confuse or even annoy you. The advantage is that you will have truly understood these fast accents and can later apply them to other licks and runs. Take your time and focus on technique and precision when playing until you eventually reach the target of 103 BPM. Next, let's look at the licks that close the solo. Here it gets even trickier because what Zakk Wylde now plays are very fast 30-second quintuplets. That means per click you play 2 groups of 5 notes. However, with a simple drum computer like the Hydrogen drum machine, you quickly hit the limits of what's possible here, since we unfortunately cannot program quintuplets. So it's advisable to first program a very slow 8th click at 30 BPM and learn to play the 5 notes that make up the final 2 licks exactly per beat. But first, let's take a close look at the final 2 licks. You play a small stretch with your index, middle and pinky on the 13th, 15th and 18th fret of the high E string, and this pull-off figure is combined with the D on the 15th fret of the B string. When you practice this lick and the following one slowly in order to understand them, you should pick very precisely. At a tempo of about 70 BPM, these accents become so fast that you will have to make some compromises in terms of picking precision. Here you need to learn to play very fast and loose picking motions with your right hand between the E and B strings and try to keep up as synchronously as possible with your fretting hand. If you listen to Zakk Wylde's isolated track from the song at a very slow speed, you will notice that even he makes the sad compromises here. The first lick you play 4 times, the second only 3 times, and then you finish the solo with a bend on the 20th fret of the high E string. I'll now play this for you once with an 8th click at 40 BPM, so that with the help of this video you will be able to understand exactly what is happening here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... If you have practiced and understood the first and last licks with their different accents individually, then it's best to practice combining both at a very slow 40 BPM. For learning, I found it easiest to program the following pattern combination in Hydrogen. First, we need 4 bars of quarter notes, 1 for counting in and then 3 for playing the first 3 licks. Then we need 1 bar of 8th notes in which we play the fast 30-second quintuplet licks. Now we can practice the final bars of the solo conveniently and repeatedly in a loop until we reach our target tempo of 103 BPM. Before I play you a few examples, let me tell you that you need to be really patient with the final part of the solo. It can sometimes take a few months before you get even close to wild speed here. But it's definitely worth it, both for your playing technique and for your rhythmic understanding when soloing. On your way to success, you should also try coming up with your own licks and runs using these accents. Being creative yourself is always better than just imitating others. Finally, I'll play you 3 examples. One at a very slow 40 BPM again, then a mid one at 80 BPM, and then one in the original tempo at 103 BPM. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please leave a comment and feel free to let me know what you'd like to see next. And please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!